This episode of Unbox Therapy is brought to you by the National Campaign Against Drunk Driving. What's up, guys? It's Lou from Unbox Therapy, and first I want to apologize for my voice here. I'm a little bit run down. It's that time of year, but hey, I'm making a video, so thumbs up for battling through a little bit of sickness. Today we're looking at the Galaxy Note 2, and as you can tell, it's a really powerful device. It's got a quad-core 1.6 gigahertz processor. You have the S Pen included here. You've got a big 5.5-inch Super AMOLED display and a huge 3100 milliamp hour battery. That's all beautiful. This phone's been out for a little while now, but I haven't actually played with one. I haven't actually got my hands on one. And so I thought, hey, I'll bring you this video and my first impressions. I do want to give a shout out to TELUS for making this video possible and sending this device out to me. If you guys want to show them some love as well, I put their Twitter link down below. So go ahead and tell them that you're grateful for the devices showing up on Unbox Therapy, and maybe you guys can request different smartphones that you want to see on here, and you can convince them to send me some more. So definitely go tweet at TELUS and tell them you want to see more gear on Unbox Therapy. So let's talk about the unboxing here. We got a little bit of paperwork. This is French and English because it is a Canadian version. You've got your power brick. This is pretty straightforward. USB on one end, power prongs on the other for charging your device from the wall. And then, of course, your cable. This is a micro USB to USB. It's done up in white. So all the accessories here with the Galaxy Note 2 are white, at least with this specific model. On the right-hand side of the device is where you'll find the power switch. Now, this is important because had the power switch been on top, it would be pretty hard to reach on such a large device. This, after all, is a 5.5-inch phone. On the top is where you'll find a headphone jack as well as a microphone. And on the left-hand side is where your volume rocker is. This is pretty self-explanatory. Up and down to increase and decrease volume. The device is very slim, and surprisingly, it doesn't feel as big in my hand as I thought it would. It feels pretty reasonable, pretty manageable. On the bottom is where you'll see a microphone as well as a micro USB port. That's going to be used for charging the device, of course. And you've also got your S Pen. That's what separates this device in one other way. So it's huge, but it's also got a pen. So it fits somewhere between a smartphone and a tablet. And I was actually pleasantly surprised with the pen. Not only is it basically undetectable when it's inserted into the phone, but it's also pretty nice to use and surprisingly functional. The back of the device features your rear-facing camera, surprise, surprise, as well as the LED flash, and then towards the bottom is where your speaker is. You'll also find the S Pen, as I said before, in the bottom corner. It's incredibly smooth to extract, and at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's going to come out accidentally. I wouldn't personally worry about that. And something else to mention, the device as a whole, if you're looking at specs, you sort of think, damn, is this thing too big? Can I really carry this around on a daily basis? Well, I have to say, at least in my jean pocket, it doesn't really feel all that much bigger than my Nexus 4, for example, even though on paper, it's quite a bit bigger. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the way it's curved. Maybe it's the fact that it's got such smooth finishes. Maybe it's because it's so thin. But anyway, it doesn't feel much bigger. And even in my hand, I'm pretty comfortable holding it. So that's a pleasant surprise. As you can see here, this is one of the killer functions, the fact that you can take notes right on the device. And it's fairly precise, in fact. I've used Wacom tablets in the past, and maybe it's not quite as precise as that. But for something that is essentially a phone or a slightly larger phone, it is impressive, the kind of feedback you get. It leaps and bounds better than those third-party styluses that you can get for smartphones. You know, the ones with the soft tips that aren't very precise at all, and they really don't have any levels of pressure sensitivity like this one does. So depending on how hard you press on the screen, it can sort of figure out what you want to do. So if you're sketching or doing drawing or something like that, that's imperative, because then you can get a different weight on the stroke as you come across the screen. So anyway, getting a little bit technical there, but as you can tell, the device is pretty snappy too. That's another thing worth mentioning. Moving around the web browser, the interface, etc., it's surprisingly snappy. You guys know in the past I haven't been a huge fan of having a skin put over Android, but this one, at least for now, feels like it's kind of not inhibiting the experience all that much. You can see I'm taking a look here at the new site, triggerpull.com. You guys should go check that out if you haven't yet. Now, while we load up the YouTube page, I do want you guys to check out this quick and very important message from the sponsor of this episode, and then we'll be back with a little bit more. The National Campaign Against Drunk Driving has an important message to share this holiday season, and I want to help them get it out there. Don't
drink, and drive. Chances are you're going to be hanging out with family and friends. It's going to be a good time. You'll probably have a couple of drinks. I know I will myself. But that doesn't mean you need to get behind the wheel of a car and try to get home. Unfortunately, this time of year, there are more fatal collisions than many other times of year. It might be the maximum, in fact. And what that means is if you get behind the wheel under the influence, there's a great chance that you're going to end up hurting somebody, getting in an accident, getting caught under the influence with a DUI that increases your insurance rates. There's going to be cops all over the country, all the way up to New Year's Eve, and you don't need to take that risk. It's going to affect you in a number of potential ways, and it's just strictly not worth it. There are many ways to get home, or you could just crash on the couch. You could use public transit, you could use a taxi, or you could wait till the next morning like I just said. So I know you've heard it a million times, but please listen to me this time around. You don't want to have to be looking back saying, you wish you had done things differently or having regrets. So stay sober, drive safe.
All right, so as you can see, we've loaded up youtube.com/unboxtherapy. And using a 5.5-inch device to browse YouTube is actually pretty nice. It means everything's a little bit bigger. You're getting bigger thumbnails, bigger text. So using it as an entertainment device, that's another killer use for it. Since it is somewhere between a tablet and a smartphone, I could totally see like lying in bed, watching YouTube, tweeting, etc. with a device like this. As you can tell, I'm a pretty big fan given my limited use with it. The main thing here is that it's not nearly as big as people have been saying. I could totally see myself using this on a daily basis. It's not big to the point where I feel that it's awkward in any way. Now, that might have something to do with the fact that I've already used somewhat big phones. I'm using the Nexus 4 right now. But this one here, I could totally see myself getting used to it, and hopefully I can play with it for the next couple of weeks and maybe give you guys some more feedback on Twitter, etc. If you guys are interested in pricing and availability in this phone, there's a link down in the description. I appreciate your viewership. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a favorite down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'll catch you actually this weekend. Remember, 2 big, important live giveaways. Hit up my channel if you don't know what I'm talking about. But I'll see you guys on Saturday, tomorrow. All right, later.